Give me 1 second, guys. All right. I'm going to tell you guys straight up what Wofford martial arts is about. I'll tell you straight up because you know a lot of people say, or actually only one person says, that you have to be crazy. You've got to be a madman if you've been in a lot of street fights. If you've been in a lot of fights, or you have to be crazy, you have to be trouble or something like that. And that's not necessarily the case because depending on where you live, depending on who you're around, and it depends on what kind of people that you run into, all types of things. I've been in a lot of street fights, a lot, from high school, middle school, recently, and every single time I've always had confidence. I've been working out all my life, doing everything I can to improve my strength, my coordination, my fighting ability, my speed, my coordination, everything, my timing, my state of mind when it comes to defending myself or my family or something like that. I make up different scenarios and I bring them into real life. And I know, I know for a fact, whatever you think, if you train the body, it will do it. And I know this for a fact. My grandfather was a very strong man. And when I grew up, I got in a lot of fights and I was trained well. And as I got older, I started venturing off with different people who exploited and experimented with martial arts and wrestling and fighting and boxing and things like that. And me, I was a natural. I was a natural. And it, if you're a natural at something, and then you go learn different ways of defending yourself, different techniques that in what you've already accumulated yourself over the years, and then you experience it when you get into real fights, and you actually gain confidence with each fight that you get. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I wasn't nervous and I didn't have fear and things like that when I fought. No, I'm not going to tell you that because, you know, uh, martial artists and, people who fight, they know, you know, what is what and who is who. So I'm going to say this, but some people you can underestimate. And some people you just know, you just have that feeling. And I'm a hands-on type of person anyway. And I've got a lot of strength and a lot of rage as a teenager and as a child that I learned. Sorry about that. So when I did fight and things like that, unstoppable, unstoppable, because I knew what I was capable of doing, and I done it. And I'd already had my mind set forth of the maneuvers I was going to do. I know what street fighters do in fights, and yeah, I've been in a lot of fights with a lot of people who could box and could wrestle and do both. And you know, I can honestly say that I have never lost, never. Um, I was at the Catholic Action Center, a security guard, and I got into it with a few people. Now, they weren't throwing blows, they were trying to subdue me because I had accident. Well, it wasn't an accident. I broke a staff member's nose there because he had stolen a coat and jumped in my face that my mother had bought me for Christmas. So, um, I was pretty pissed. But anyway, even though I channeled it the wrong way in that situation, I've always known, you know, what to do and how to do it. I've always been very confident in fighting, and with that, I taught my niece and nephew, and my niece got in trouble in school. Um, but anyway, that's a totally different story. Um, what Wofford's martial arts is about, basically, is being able to come out a winner, to be able to leave and go home after the fight and still be standing with minimal injury as possible. And the most
Keeping up with the Wofford?
no, this is YouTube.
I know, but keeping up with the Wofford YouTube?
Yes, because I couldn't get that one started. So my whole principle is to make sure that you make it home and not put all this wong chong chong yong 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 bullcrap on there that doesn't work in a real street fight. Um,
Yeah.
and I have used spinning back fists that have been very effective. Just depend. It depends on your opponent. It depends on your opponent, and it depends on you. It depends on the situation. It depends on their strength. It depends on their coordination. It depends on their fighting skills. It depends on a lot of things. Depends on how you feel that day. Depends on your movements. It depends on a lot of things. Everything is not uh, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. You might try to apply a technique and it may not work, but that's the way martial arts is. You have to keep going and have to keep trying different stuff in order to make sure that you can apply the proper technique with that situation that you're in. Because one technique might work on one person, but it may not work on the next person, and so on and so forth. So what I always think is whatever can hurt me can obviously hurt the next person because I'm very strong. I've got a high pain tolerance, and I'm very experienced. So, uh, I've been dabbing in martial arts for over 35 years. Over 35 years. And you know what? Michelle wasn't even up here when I was talking about the Catholic Action Center brawl. Shelley, come over here. Were you there when I got into it at the Catholic Action Center?
Yeah.
How many people was it?
About 5 or 6.
Okay. And can you say anything?
They tried to take you down, they couldn't get you down. You kept getting away and taking them down.
It took 5 or 6 people at the very end to even take me down one time, and then I jumped right back up. Because when you're fighting and you're in martial arts and things like that, there's no time for pain. So you're either gonna have to put me in a situation to where I can't get back up. And the rule of thumb in martial arts: if you can't see, you can't breathe, and you can't walk, you can't fight. Well, I could still do all 3 of those, and I kept going. I got power bombed by the 5th person after I was tired, and I got right back up and started fighting. And that is the spirit, that's the eye of the tiger there. You have got to get it in your head, in your mind, and then get it in your body that you are the best. And then train your body to be that way. There is no set movement on uh, on some uh, on some technique that somebody's trying to pull a gun on you, or somebody's pulling a knife on you, or somebody's trying to punch you or kick you or grab you. There is none. You do what you have to do to survive, and that's what Wofford martial arts is. It's kind of like the difference between the samurai and the ninja. The samurai fights for honor, the ninja fights to win. Which one do you want to be? So, if you want the truth in self-defense and what works and what's going to get you home and what's going to keep you safe, then I suggest you listen to what I say. Ask questions. I'll ask all the questions that you want, and I'll explain it the best way I can and give you scenarios, real life scenarios that I've been in, that will bring you to the point to where you can use it and it be very effective. Now I'm scared to touch this girl over here in a plain way, or grab her, or do anything, because she knows pretty much what to do in order to get me off of her. And she doesn't look like she's much. She doesn't look like much. But the thing is to know what to do in the current situations. There is no put your leg here and do this to make the person go this way, and then grab the head and do this thing. No, it is not. No. What if you can't get the leg there because he's trapped it, or you got your arm up under here and doing this? What do you do then? You squirm, you wiggle, you move. You keep moving no matter what. You keep fighting. You keep striking. You hit the points that would make you hurt in that same situation. That's what works. That's what works. Then you get up as quick as possible. Get your balance. And you strike until they're down. Till you can get away. That's what you do. So, I've got one video up on Wofford's martial arts, and it's under Charles Wofford, and they won't let me do any more lives until tomorrow. But I did record one that's on there, or should be on there, and so I've got one video that's already on there, and I've got a recorded video that's on there now, and it's very enlightening, and it's very realistic, because in real life there is none of this. I promise you, Jake Mace. And you're saying that all street fighters violent and things like that. Well, how do you know what real fighting is if you've never been in a real fight? How do you know? How can you sit there and say that you can defend somebody in a real street fight, or you can train somebody to defend themselves in a real street fight if you've never been in one, or seen one, or witnessed one? How can you say that? That's a total fraud. That's a total. You experiment with dummies who are going to sit there and let you drag their arm or let you hit them, but in reality, what if the person's quicker and stronger than you, and have better techniques than you, and know what to do, and see you coming? Then what? Then what do? Your ass is knocked flat on your ass. You're knocked flat on your ass, or worse. You have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't matter what martial art it is. It doesn't matter. All I can tell you is to train for it and specialize in it, and then use your body movement and your body and the way your body moves to make your own specific style of martial art. So you'll feel more comfortable in what you do. And see, I didn't used to be a striker and all that other stuff. I used to be a kicker and a judo type of guy, but now I'm all around, because over time I kept practicing and practicing and practicing. And I'm not talking about just practicing 10, 20 minutes a day. I'm talking about I used to practice all day long. All day long. Thousands and thousands of push-ups a day. I'm 43 now. I'm 43 now. Every type of exercise that you can think of. Leg lifts, calf raises, everything. Everything you can think of, I did it. Everything. Every single muscle group that I could think of. I did my negatives. I did my fast twitch muscles. Yeah. Did all the muscle groups. Tricep, superset, coordination exercises, power exercises, football player exercises, pushing exercises, things like that. Little man's, all that. Squats, Mike Tyson's. Basketball leg exercises for more agility. All that type of stuff. Strength training, endurance training, striking. Then I would practice every type of block that I could think of. Put myself in different scenarios. Or what if they punch here, and what if this happens? What if this happens? Secondary, primaries. And you know what? Different martial artists have different blocking techniques. Some like to put their shoulder up. My buddy Ted, who does MMA matches, he likes to put his shoulder up along with his primary and secondary hands to give him extra coverage. So you know what? I learned off that. Then I cuff my hands like that, put my hands up like that. Then I do like this. All types of different scenarios. Blocking the midsections and things like that. Bobbing and weaving, boxing, all types of things. So you've got to learn different skills. You've got to. And better yet, it's best to be aware. Never give somebody your back. Like Jake Mace tells you to do all this spinning stuff. I never want to give somebody my back. Never. As a matter of fact, if I've got 2 or 3 opponents, I'm going to try to throw them into each other. I'm not talking about a keto throw where I'm grabbing their hand and doing all this and all that. No. As long as I can grab the arm like this and the other arm like that, or even the shoulder or the back or the chest or even the... So anyway, guys, check out The other live videos will be up tomorrow. I've got a recorded one on there and a live video. Check it out, guys. It'll get you home. Take care of yourself and each other. Stay away from Jake Mace. I'm telling you.